Today I'll be covering how to change strings on violin. What you'll need is a pencil and new strings. I've already changed 2 of mine today, and I've just got a couple more to do. To take a string off, you just take the peg and turn it this way, and you can pull it out from the peg box a bit as you turn to make it come looser, and then you can just pull it off like that. I like to change one at once. Okay, and we're just going to get the new one out of the packet. The E string is going to go on this peg here. That's the one I'm doing first. And this one's A string, D string, G string. So I'm just going to align them in the peg box so that they're not going to cross over. So this one's going in its hole just to the right side of the A string. And I'm just going to wind that on a little bit. The string goes across the top of the peg, not underneath the bottom. So it goes around the top of the peg first. As you turn, you can just give it a push in towards the peg box to make it stick. Also, you can just get the pencil and draw in the groove here. That'll help lubricate the contact point so that the string slides easily across that, and it'll help preserve the string a bit better than if we don't do it. And I'm also going to do it over here on the bridge at the E string contact point. And then I've got a ball end for this one, and you just put that in the space between those forks there in the tuning adjuster, so like that, and that'll hold that one on. While I'm tightening up the string, I just hold it like this so that there's no slack, and then the string won't fall out of its hole or fall off the peg, that kind of thing. Sometimes the string will come with a little plastic tube that's covering part of it. And you can just see here there's that little yellow thing. I'm going to put that on top of the bridge. Just tightening that up. And that's going on the top of the bridge there. It's quite low at the moment. I'm aiming to get it up to that sound. You want to know what sound you're aiming for when you're tightening your strings. It's a bit easy to snap them when you're not sure what note you're aiming for. And so if you go a couple of tones over with each string, then it can break it. So pretty much there with this one. E string is the one that's going to settle the quickest once you put a new string on, as in it doesn't stretch much, so you get a more reliable tuning quicker with E string than with the others. Okay, so next I'm going to do the G string, and so I'm going to pull it out and turn. There we go, and yank that off. You can tell when a string has been used because when it's been used it's all curled up at the end where it was in the peg box. So this is my favourite string at the moment, the obligatos. They're not very cheap, but you kind of get what you pay for in terms of string prices. So these are sounding quite nice on my violin. Some strings, the strings will sound different on each violin, so it's a bit of an experiment to see what works well on your own violin. What works on one might not sound very good on another. Okay, for the G string, I'm noticing this peg has, you might be able to see that, it has two holes here, and I'm going to just choose the one that's towards the handle, the grip of the peg, because sometimes, so I'm just going to use the hole that's closest to this bit you grip, because if you choose the other one, sometimes it can run into the other edge of the peg box, making it stop there, so you can't get the tightness in the peg that you really want, and then the peg would just loosen itself again and again. So I'm poking that in there again and aligning the string to the left side this time, because it's the furthest to the left of all the strings. And I'm just turning that over the top of the peg, pushing it into the peg box enough that it will stick. And I'm going to get my pencil and just draw on those contact points again. Just keeping that tension on. It's really low at the moment. So I'm aiming for about, it's gone into tune, and you can hear this one is changing pitch. It's getting lower and lower. That's the string stretching. So it's going to do that for a while. Usually, if you try to keep it reasonably in tune, over about a half hour, then it won't go so much out later on. You still have a bit of change for the next few days though. Again, that depends on what kind of string. They have different stretching times. I'm just going to get my tuning fork and check my tuning now. That one's a little bit loose. I'm going to loosen off this end so that I can have a bit more space with that tuning adjuster. So one of these just produces a bit of sound when you put it against a surface like that. So that's about right now. My E string has stretched a bit, it's gone a bit low. They're about right again. D string has gone a bit low too. Whenever you change the pitch of a string a lot, then it will change the pitch of the other ones a bit. So when one of the strings has been quite loose and you tighten it back up again, you can put the other ones out of tune. This one's stretched again. Whenever I tighten a string using the pegs, then I just put a bit of force on it until it clicks, and then check the tuning of that string to check whether it's too high or too low, so that you don't go too much over the proper pitch. That can stop the risk of it breaking. When you change it, then you can just release it gradually so that you can make sure it's not going to slip, and if it does slip you can catch the peg before the string loosens with that peg spinning round. Oh, I like sitting on the floor for this job too, because nothing can go anywhere. The violin cannot fall. A little bit of tuning there still to do. E string's mostly settled by now. So over the next few hours then I'll need to tune my strings again and again, especially the G, the D and the A. E string might not need much at all from now. in tuning the strings, if you need to change the E peg, then this one, no, this one. If you want to change that one, then it's often a good idea just to loosen it off a little bit before you tighten it up to its proper pitch. That way you can stop it gripping the peg box as much, and you can more easily get the change that you want. Otherwise, it can click a long way suddenly, and you might go over a bit too much with that one. A string, I might do that as well. D string and G string, there's not a lot of risk of breaking strings from going over it, because you can go a bit further past their proper pitch before they'll break. This one's gone a bit low again. And there we are. So that's how to change your strings.